only those two people live. They have 3 children, 1 daughter and 2 sons. This is a picture of the daughter, former Princess Nori. When she got married 10 years ago, she lost her title. She left imperial family and became a commoner. So she is normal princess. In this country, when women gets married, she becomes a member of the husband's family. She got married to a commoner. The emperor has 2 sons. This is a picture of the first son's family, Crown Prince and Crown Princess. They have 1 daughter, Princess Aiko. Today is her birthday. She becomes 14 years old. This is a picture of the second son's family, Prince and Princess. Yesterday was his birthday. He became 50 years old. They have 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. Those 2 families live in a different palace called Akasaka Detached Palace, which is located 2 kilometers west of Imperial Palace ground. They live separately for security reasons, they say, because first son is next to become emperor. And the first son, he doesn't have a son. He has only a daughter. This was a problem. Under the current law, only male can become an emperor. So once, government was thinking of changing the law to have an empress. Then in the middle of the debate, whether we should change the law or not, suddenly the wife of the second son, she got pregnant. Then she gave birth to a baby boy 9 years ago. According to the government, now that we have a baby boy in the emperor family, we don't need to change the law. That was a big chance of an empress. Almost 80% of the people supported the idea of having female emperor. But anyway, it's a good news to have a new life in the emperor family. We were happy to hear the news. Now, first son is the first heir to the imperial throne, and second son is the second heir. This boy is the third heir to the imperial throne. And speaking of the Crown Princess Masako, the wife of the first son, she's a very intelligent person. She graduated from Harvard University, used to be working as a diplomat. But for her, the most important thing is to have a baby boy, not a girl. Now she is sick mentally, under a lot of pressure to have a baby boy. She's gradually getting better, but not recovered completely yet. So we hope she gets well soon. Should I pass those pictures around? Should I pass them around? If you want to take a look. It's okay. Then if you want to take a look, then please come to me. Thank you. The emperor, he doesn't have any political power. He is just a spiritual head, cultural head of this country, just a figurehead, maybe like queen in England. So he does only charity works or public duties. As a leader of this country, we have a prime minister. We don't have a president. We have a prime minister. On the front side, this park is called Hibiya Park, the oldest Western-style park in Tokyo, about 100 years old. And right side, this is a hotel called Imperial Hotel, one of the best hotels. Emperor's daughter, former Princess Nori, she had a wedding ceremony and wedding reception at this hotel. Left side, there's a park, and behind this park, there's a political center called Kasumigaseki District. There's our apartment building, National Diet Building, and also ministries and agencies are located behind this park. And so on your left side, you will see another big green area. That's Imperial Palace ground, our next stop. There's to be a castle for shogun on the same ground. So you will see soon stone wall, and also you will see water. It's part of the moat, M-O-A-T, moat, like a river. Those are remains from the shogun's castle. Now emperor is living at the same place, so we call the same place Imperial Palace. I think it's a little bit complicated. We used to have 2 leaders at the same time, shoguns and emperors. We have had emperors from the first beginning of this country. 2,600 years ago, the legendary first emperor ascended to the throne. Since then, many emperors lived in the western part of this country, especially in Kyoto city. Have you ever been to Kyoto? You will. So somewhere still going. Kyoto is the ancient capital, 500 kilometers, 300 miles west of Tokyo. So many emperors lived in Kyoto for many generations. Anyway, on your left side, this is Imperial Palace ground. Now you see on the left-hand side, you can see water. This is part of the moat. 400 years ago, when this city was chosen by Shogun, he made a castle here. To protect the castle from enemies, he made inner moat and outer moat. This is part of the inner moat. And this city was designed by Shogun's government like a maze to make enemies lost. He didn't make streets straight. Instead, he made streets like a spider's web to catch enemies easily. This is very inconvenient for tourists. Even Japanese people easily get lost in this city. You can see now stone wall and so this inner moat, those are original, 400 years old. So we have an empress from the first building 2,600 years ago, and many emperors lived in Kyoto for many generations. Towards the 11th century, a new class appeared in the society. This was samurai warriors class. One of them was appointed as shogun. Shogun was originally a temporary title. Later it gained more power. One of them decided and actually set up his own military government at the end of 12th century, and Shogun's government lasted until the mid-19th century. So during this time, we had two leaders at the same time, shoguns and emperors, but emperor was just a nominal ruler. The actual ruler was shogun. Then last shogun's government was set up in this city about 400 years ago. This city was called Edo, E-D-O, and this was only a small fisherman's village. First shogun of Tokugawa family, his name was Ieyasu. He established his government here, and he made a great castle here, and this government flourished for more than 250 years. Now we are driving through, this is the outer garden. On both sides you can see beautiful pine trees. Those are carefully maintained by 100 gardeners using bonsai techniques. Those are like big bonsai trees. Soon the bus makes a right turn.